After the test of fire, the galaxy's attention turned from curiosity to calculation. Word of Titan's precision, power, and restraint had spread like a starstorm, reaching every corner of known space. Diplomats, scientists, traders, and even military commanders re-evaluated their assumptions about humanity. The young species from the small blue planet had proved that they were not only capable of building powerful technology, but also wise enough to wield it responsibly. On board Titan, Admiral Marcus Hale gathered his senior officers in the main strategy room. The holographic star maps displayed countless systems, fleets, and diplomatic zones. "Our first demonstration was only the beginning," Hale said, his voice calm but firm. "The galaxy is watching. Some will approach with friendship. Some with fear. Some will try to test us again, secretly or openly. We must be ready for all of it." Commander Liana Chen nodded, adjusting the tactical displays. "Reports show several smaller alliances are already seeking our counsel. They wish to learn about Earth and perhaps even join efforts with us. But there are also fleets moving in patterns that suggest surveillance and possibly sabotage. The first to approach formally were representatives of the Zethari Union, who had been cautious observers during the test of fire. Counselor Myra Length arrived with a small delegation, their ships silent and elegant. They entered Titan's observation chamber, marveling at its design. "You have changed our perception," Length said. "We expected a show of power, perhaps even aggression. Instead, we found discipline, intelligence, and restraint. Humans, you are different from anything we imagined." Admiral Hale smiled. "That is our way. Strength is only meaningful when it is used wisely. Power without purpose leads to destruction. We hope to prove that humans can act responsibly among the stars." While the Zethari delegation explored the ship, engineers and scientists shared their research in energy technology, propulsion systems, and medical advancements. The visitors marveled at devices that could purify water on a planetary scale, create self-sustaining energy grids, and heal injuries that would have been fatal elsewhere. News of these exchanges spread rapidly. Independent systems began contacting Titan, requesting cooperation. Small trade networks offered to share resources and technology. Entire communities previously isolated now dreamed of a future where humans could act as protectors and partners. However, not every reaction was positive. The Krax Dominion, though humbled by their previous encounter, still harbored distrust. Admiral Vorak convened his council aboard Dominion's Pride, studying reports of alliances forming with humans. "They are gathering influence," Vorak said, claws tightening around the command rail. "Even those we considered neutral now lean toward them. We cannot allow Earth to become too powerful, too fast." Vorak's advisors suggested subtle interference, espionage, misinformation, and fleet movements to unsettle the humans. But every attempt was thwarted. Titan's security systems, a combination of human intuition and advanced technology, detected intrusions before they could succeed. Each failure only added to the growing legend of Titan and the crew's skill. Despite the threats, humanity's approach to diplomacy remained consistent: transparency, patience, and respect. They invited emissaries aboard Titan, shared their knowledge, and encouraged dialogue. Their actions slowly began to shift the perception of humans from potential conquerors to trusted partners. In one instance, the Lunari Confederation, a coalition of scientific and exploratory worlds, requested a collaborative research project. Their representatives worked alongside Titan scientists, sharing data and developing new technologies together. The project was a success, producing energy systems that could stabilize dying stars and restore ecosystems on barren planets. It was the first proof that humanity's technology could benefit not just itself, but the galaxy at large. Not all interactions were peaceful. Small factions, fearful of Earth's growing influence, began plotting against Titan. Pirates attempted to ambush supply ships. Smugglers tried to infiltrate Titan's communication systems. Even the Krax Dominion executed discreet maneuvers to test Titan's readiness. Each attempt failed, often without the perpetrators realizing how close they had come to disaster. Aboard Titan, Admiral Hale addressed his crew after one such incident. "Every threat we face is a reminder that responsibility comes with power. We are here not to intimidate, but to protect. Every action, every decision reflects humanity. We must be vigilant, but never reckless." Life aboard Titan continued with a balance of routine and readiness. Cadets trained tirelessly, engineers maintained complex systems, and scientists conducted experiments that could change life across multiple planets. Crew members studied alien languages, cultures, and histories to ensure diplomacy remained effective. Among humans and allies alike, the lessons of restraint resonated deeply. Strength, they realized, was not only in weapons or technology, it was in the ability to act with intelligence and morality. For many civilizations, Titan became a symbol of hope, a reminder that a species could rise without domination, could lead without tyranny. Still, shadows lingered in the galaxy. Rumors of an ancient, powerful force beyond known space began to circulate. Though nothing had approached, whispers suggested that the galaxy's oldest and most mysterious entities were now aware of Earth's arrival. Some claimed that these beings had conquered entire civilizations in the past, leaving only legends behind. Titan's crew took these warnings seriously. Sensors scanned deeper into uncharted systems, mapping potential threats and learning about regions where light and time behaved differently. Engineers modified engines for long-range efficiency, while strategists developed contingency plans for large-scale conflicts. Humanity's patience and preparation were their greatest weapons. Alliances began to take shape as well. Some species pledged loyalty to Earth's ideals, offering fleets, resources, and knowledge. Trade networks expanded, enabling faster transportation and better communication between distant systems. Cultural exchanges flourished, with humans learning alien histories and sharing stories of Earth's own past struggles and triumphs. The Crack's dominion, though wary, could no longer ignore the influence Titan wielded. Vorak considered cautious diplomacy, sending envoys under careful observation. Still, every gesture was calculated. Distrust remained. Humanity had proven its power, and even those who feared it could not deny its wisdom. Amid these events, Titan's crew learned the importance of balance. Every victory, every successful alliance reminded them that leadership in the galaxy required more than strength. It required understanding, empathy, and foresight. Admiral Hale often reminded his crew, "We must act not only for ourselves but for the lives we touch. Our choices echo across stars. Let them echo with hope, not fear." In the bustling trade hubs, independent planets, and distant colonies, the story of Titan spread like wildfire. Humans were no longer merely a curious species. They were leaders, partners, and in some cases, protectors. The galaxy began to imagine a new era, one where cooperation could rival conflict, where intelligence could surpass brute strength, and where restraint could become a form of power. Yet even as allies gathered and enemies observed cautiously, Titan remained vigilant. Every fleet movement, every diplomatic mission, and every research project was executed with precision. Humanity understood that influence alone could not secure safety or respect. It required continuous effort, adaptability, and wisdom. The arrival of new allies was encouraging, but the threats lurking in the shadows served as a reminder that the galaxy was vast, complex, and unpredictable. Every successful interaction strengthened humanity's reputation, but every failure could have had far-reaching consequences. Titan's crew, aware of the stakes, continued to train, innovate, and prepare for challenges no one could yet imagine. As days turned into weeks, the alliances solidified. Representatives of multiple species began working alongside humans, sharing knowledge, culture, and technology. Together, they developed plans for interstellar trade, coordinated defense strategies, and even joint exploration missions into uncharted territories. Titan had become a hub of cooperation, a symbol of what could be achieved when species worked together with respect and purpose. At the same time, Titan's presence inspired hope among ordinary citizens across countless worlds. Children drew images of the ship in classrooms. Storytellers recounted the feats of humans and their ship in marketplaces, and scholars debated the implications of Earth's arrival for centuries to come. And yet, the galaxy remained aware of one truth. Humanity had not yet faced its greatest challenge. While alliances formed and enemies plotted, something ancient and powerful was stirring beyond known space. Titan sensors had detected unusual energy readings far beyond the edge of explored systems. The whispers of old legends hinted at a force that could rival entire civilizations. Admiral Hale considered this quietly, addressing his senior staff. "We have proven humanity's strength and wisdom," he said. "But the galaxy is larger than we have yet seen. And the challenges ahead will test not just our technology, but our courage, our unity, and our character. We must be ready. As Titan glided silently through the stars, surrounded by allies and changed the galaxy, humanity's reputation as a species of courage inti. The galaxy had never seen humans like this before. For centuries, alien civilizations had considered humanity weak, reckless, and unfit for interstellar power. But the Dark Fleet had changed that perception forever. Humanity had returned not as victims, not as scattered survivors, but as a united force with cunning, courage, and unparalleled adaptability. Captain Elias Rourke stood on the bridge of the Erebus watching the aftermath of the last battle. The alien coalition had been scattered, humiliated, and forced to retreat. Entire fleets had surrendered when confronted with humans who outmaneuvered them at every turn. Humanity had proven that strength was not measured in numbers alone but in strategy, innovation, and the spirit to endure against impossible odds. Lieutenant Kara Sun approached Rourke, her voice quiet but proud. "Captain, the Council, they're sending a delegation. They want to negotiate." Rourke's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. "Negotiate? After leaving us for dead? After trying to crush us? Let them come. We will meet them not with fear, but with the truth of what humanity has become." The Council's delegation arrived in a neutral system, a small cluster of stations that had long been used for diplomatic exchanges. Ambassadors from dozens of alien species assembled, their expressions ranging from apprehension to thinly veiled fear. For the first time, humans were not invited as subjects or weak allies. They were invited as equals. General Amara Klein addressed the assembled leaders from Earth's command center, broadcasting her words through secure channels. "You underestimated us. You left humanity to struggle, believing we would fail. But we did not. We survived. We adapted. And now we are here to remind you that humanity is a force no one should ignore." The Council leaders shifted uncomfortably. Many had been confident that humans could not coordinate beyond their local systems. Yet the Dark Fleet's operations had shattered that belief. Alien ships had been outmaneuvered at every step. Supply lines had been disrupted. Entire sectors had been forced to acknowledge human ingenuity and resilience. From the observation deck of the Erebus, Rourke observed the alien representatives. Some were proud of their victories over humanity in past wars, but now they could see the truth with their own eyes. Humans had not only survived, they had risen stronger, smarter, and more united than any species had expected. "Captain," Lieutenant Mira Voss said, her voice filled with quiet wonder. "They're afraid of us," Rourke smiled faintly. "They should be. Not because we seek to destroy, but because they now understand what it means to leave humanity for dead. Fear is a lesson, and this lesson will be remembered." In the council chamber, one of the alien leaders finally spoke. "Humans," she said cautiously, "we misjudged your species. Your fleet, your coordination, your courage. It exceeds all expectations. How did you achieve this?" Rourke stepped forward, calm and confident. "You left us behind. You abandoned us when we needed your support. That is when humanity discovered its true strength. We learned to survive on our own, to build in secret, to innovate in ways you could not imagine. You judged us by what you saw, not by what we were capable of becoming. Now you know." The room was silent. Alien diplomats whispered among themselves. The words of humans, spoken with clarity, pride, and authority, left an impression deeper than any fleet could. Humanity had returned not through brute force alone, but through unity, intelligence, and unbreakable determination. Back on Earth, people watched the transmission live. For decades, they had endured blockades, isolation, and hardship. They had built the Dark Fleet in secret, trained pilots, engineers, and strategists in hidden facilities, and now they could witness the galaxy's recognition of humanity's true power. Every citizen, from underground cities to remote colonies, felt a sense of pride and hope that had been long denied. The council continued hesitantly. "Humans, what do you seek?" Rourke's voice was firm, unwavering. "We seek recognition, not for revenge, not for conquest. We seek our rightful place among the stars, as equals and as a species that cannot be ignored. You left us for dead. Now you will remember us forever, not as the weak, but as humans who endured and rose." The aliens understood finally the magnitude of what had been accomplished. They had underestimated a species that refused to die. They had assumed humans were limited by emotion, by numbers, and by technology, Yet humans had overcome every obstacle through ingenuity, unity, and courage, the qualities no other species could replicate so completely. Captain Rourke turned to his senior officers. "Prepare for a return to Earth," he said. "Our job is not done. We have shown the galaxy our strength, but now we secure our home. Humanity will never again be treated as weak or expendable. Our future begins now." As the Dark Fleet traveled back to Earth, systems across human space opened their gates. Colonies long cut off from communication sent their ships and people to join the fleet. Engineers brought new vessels, scientists shared innovations, and pilots volunteered for missions. Humanity was no longer scattered. It was united with a single purpose and unmatched strength. On the surface of Earth, the planet itself seemed to celebrate. Cities that had been hidden underground emerged. People raised their heads to the sky, seeing the stars with renewed hope and pride. Humanity had survived the darkest hour and emerged not broken but stronger, smarter, and united. The final approach of the Dark Fleet was met with awe. Aliens observed quietly as humans coordinated thousands of ships with flawless precision. The fleets moved as one, every pilot and crew member performing with skill and confidence. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. General Klein addressed the fleet from Earth's command center. "This is not just a return. This is humanity reclaiming its place among the stars. We endured hardship, we were left for dead, but we are not defeated. Humanity rises, not through fear, not through force alone, but through courage, intelligence, and unity." Rourke, observing the assembly from the bridge of the Erebus, felt a profound sense of pride. He thought of every human who had survived the Council's neglect, who had worked in secret, and who had believed that humanity could rise again. The Dark Fleet was not merely a weapon, it was a symbol of hope, determination, and unbreakable human spirit. As Earth's defenses aligned with the returning fleet, Rourke gave the final command: "Prepare for full activation. Humanity takes its place among the stars, not as victims, not as pawns, but as equals. Let every system see what humans are capable of. The galaxy will remember this day." The Dark Fleet moved forward, and humanity's presence across the galaxy was undeniable. Alien powers, the Council, and scattered observers could no longer ignore the species they had left for dead. Humans had proven that adversity does not break them, it strengthens them. Creativity, courage, and unity had become weapons more powerful than any fleet or technology. The Council's delegation, now compelled to recognize humanity's achievements, prepared to formally acknowledge Earth and its colonies. Humans would sit at the table of interstellar civilizations as equals, not as supplicants or conquered subjects. They had survived, endured, and risen to claim their rightful place. Captain Rourke looked out at the stars one final time before docking. "They thought they could write our story for us," he said softly. "But we are the authors of our own destiny. We survived, we adapted, and we rose. Humanity is ascendant, and we will never again be underestimated." The fleet's return was met with celebration, both on Earth and across the human colonies. Engineers, scientists, pilots, and citizens all recognized the journey they had taken. From abandoned colonies and hidden bases to the vast reaches of space, humanity had shown the galaxy that their spirit could not be crushed. And as humans looked to the stars, they understood a truth that no alien power could ever erase. Adversity does not define humanity. Courage, intelligence, creativity, and unity do. The species that had been left for dead had returned to claim its place, not through force alone, but through the strength of the human spirit. The Dark Fleet was a symbol. Humanity's return was a warning, and the galaxy would never forget the day humans rose from the shadows and took their place among the stars. The galaxy had always been calm, or so the Galactic Council believed. Its members, powerful and ancient species, had watched over countless star systems for thousands of cycles. They prided themselves on their order, their knowledge, and their ability to prevent chaos from spreading. Humans, however, were an anomaly. They were a small species, confined to a single blue world called Earth. Yet they were growing, fast, curious, and unpredictable. On the Council's grand observation deck, a massive crystal window stretched across the chamber, showing a patch of stars where humanity had recently ventured. Council representatives from the Larithian, Kesari, and Valax species murmured quietly among themselves. Each was taller, stronger, or more technologically advanced than humans, yet none could deny the tiny blue planet's increasing activity. "Another breach," reported Zarek. the Valax observer. His voice vibrated low, a sound that seemed to echo in the chamber. A human survey team has crossed the border of the neutral zone. They do not seem aware of its significance. The neutral zone was sacred to the Council. It was a region of space that contained ancient ruins and energy anomalies, areas that, if disturbed, could be dangerous. Any species entering it without permission risked severe consequences. "They are reckless," snapped Orlin, the Kessari delegate. His multiple limbs gestured sharply. "We warned them. They must be punished before they learn more." But not all council members agreed. Vela, a Larithian diplomat, spoke softly, her eyes reflecting the stars. "Perhaps they do not understand the rules. Humans are young. Their actions, though bold, may be unintentional. We could guide them instead of striking immediately." Zarek shook his head. "Guide them? They are already in forbidden space. Guidance may come too late." Meanwhile, far across the stars, humanity was unaware of the Council's murmurs. On Earth, scientists, engineers, and explorers were celebrating humanity's first successful faster-than-light jump. Ships had already traveled beyond the solar system and returned safely, carrying data and samples from distant planets. Captain Mira Saeed stood on the bridge of the Endurance, humanity's most advanced exploration vessel. She gazed at the stars, her heart pounding with excitement and pride. "We're ready," she said to her crew. "Humanity has crossed the edge of our solar system. We are explorers now. Let's see what's out there." Her crew, a mix of young cadets and experienced veterans, nodded eagerly. Every one of them understood the risks, but the thrill of discovery was stronger than fear. Humanity had always faced danger and had always survived. The stars were no different. The Endurance's sensors picked up something unusual as it approached a shimmering nebula. A small alien craft, sleek and gray, was observing them. Its technology was unlike anything humans had seen, clearly superior in speed and stealth. "Unknown vessel detected," reported Lieutenant Akira Chen. "It's not responding to hails." Mira frowned. "Keep distance and record everything. We're not here to start a fight." The alien ship, however, was not idle. It sent a warning pulse, a signal that humans could barely interpret. But Captain Mira understood the tone. "Leave now or face consequences. Stay calm," she said. "We'll document and move forward carefully." But inside, she felt a twinge of excitement. Humanity was stepping into unknown territory, and their courage would be tested. Back on the Council's observation deck, Zarek's tendrils twitched in irritation. They have ignored the warning. This is direct defiance. Their actions could disrupt the balance of the galaxy. Vela interjected gently. "They are small. They may appear dangerous now, but their impact is minimal. Perhaps they can teach us something new." "Young species often surprise the old," Orlin hissed, frustrated. "I do not care for lessons. If they continue, we must act. Otherwise, they will believe the Council is weak." The Council debated late into the cycle, unaware that the humans were already making their move. Captain Mira had detected ruins on a small barren planet just inside the neutral zone. Ancient structures carved from crystalline rock rose above the surface. Strange energy readings pulsed faintly from within. "This is incredible," said Dr. Lena Torres, the chief scientist. "These structures predate any known species. The energy patterns suggest advanced technology, possibly from an extinct civilization. Humanity may have just discovered something no one else has seen in millennia." Mira nodded. "Document everything. We are explorers, not conquerors. Our mission is knowledge, but we must be cautious. Any action we take here may be noticed by other civilizations." As the humans prepared their exploration teams, the alien scout ship reported back to the Council. "The humans have reached the ruins. Their actions may trigger a response from ancient defense systems," it warned. Zarek's voice rumbled with tension. "Prepare the Council fleet. We cannot allow humans to meddle further. Their curiosity will only lead to chaos if unchecked." The Council agreed, but the human approach was already proving unpredictable. Small teams landed on the planet, carefully examining the ruins. They encountered strange devices that emitted pulses of light when touched. Rather than fear, humans approached them with curiosity and respect. Dr. Torres activated a device, causing a holographic map to emerge above a crystalline pedestal. The map showed a network of star systems, many unknown to humans. It also displayed warnings and symbols, possibly left by an ancient species to indicate danger zones. "This is beyond anything we imagined," she said. "We are witnessing history, Captain. Humanity may hold the key to understanding this galaxy in ways no one else can. Suddenly, a warning alarm echoed through the human ship. Sensors detected a fleet entering the system, fast, precise, and overwhelming in size. The Galactic Council had decided to act. "Everyone, to stations," Mira ordered. "We do not seek conflict, but we will defend ourselves." The humans, though outnumbered, remained calm. They had one advantage: adaptability. Unlike the Council species, who relied on protocol and hierarchy, humans could think and act in unpredictable ways. Their ships were smaller, more agile, and equipped with experimental technology designed for exploration and survival. The alien fleet approached cautiously, expecting submission. Humans, however, prepared for a demonstration of courage. The Council had underestimated them, believing a small species could be controlled by fear. Humanity would soon show that fear alone could not restrain them. On Earth, millions watched live feeds of the Endurance approaching the ruins. Social media, news networks, and personal devices buzzed with excitement. Humanity was united, proud, and ready. For the first time, humans were not just inhabitants of a planet. They were participants in the galaxy's larger story. In the council chambers, the debate became heated. "They are reckless and dangerous," Orlin insisted. "They must be contained immediately." Vela shook her head. "Perhaps we should observe first. Their courage and ingenuity may offer insights we cannot yet comprehend. Do not act too hastily. The universe has a way of surprising even the oldest species." Zarek's voice was tense. "Observation has limits. If they continue to push boundaries, consequences will follow. We must be prepared." As the council argued, humanity continued to advance, unaware of the full scope of alien politics. Their curiosity, determination, and unity were their strengths. They explored with care, learned quickly, and adapted to challenges. Each small discovery strengthened their confidence. The humans' first encounter with ancient technology revealed not just knowledge but also responsibility. Captain Mira understood that their actions, though small in the Council's eyes, could ripple across the galaxy. Humanity had crossed a line, not intentionally, but inevitably. By the time the alien fleet arrived at the outskirts of the planet, humans had already begun analyzing the ruins, activating devices, and mapping energy flows. The Council expected defiance. What they did not anticipate was humanity's courage, intelligence, and restraint. Mira stood on the bridge, looking at the incoming fleet. "This is our moment," she said quietly. "Not just to explore, but to show the galaxy who humanity truly is. We do not seek war, but we will not back down. Humanity will rise even in the face of the unknown." The stars around the neutral zone shimmered with tension. The galaxy, once calm and orderly, had been stirred by a small, persistent species. The Council had observed humans for years, expecting minor disruptions, but the reality was far more remarkable. Humanity had crossed the line, and in doing so, had begun a story that would shock the Council, inspire other species, and redefine what it meant to be a force in the galaxy. The quiet galaxy was no longer quiet. A storm had begun, and at its center stood humanity, ready to face the consequences of their curiosity, courage, and unyielding spirit. The alien fleet appeared like a dark shadow against the stars, moving with precision and purpose. Dozens of ships, sleek and menacing, formed a line around the planet where humanity's endurance and exploration teams were stationed. The fleet's arrival was no accident. It was a warning, and the humans were now at the center of the Galactic Council's attention. Captain Mira Saeed stood on the bridge, her hands lightly resting on the rail as she observed the incoming ships. "All stations report," she said. Lieutenant Akira Chen's fingers danced across the control panel. "Sensors confirm multiple capital-class ships, each heavily armed. They are attempting to establish a blockade around the planet. Communications are open, but they refuse to respond to our hails." Mira's jaw tightened. "Prepare shields and maintain defensive positions. We are explorers, but we will not surrender. Humanity does not bow to threats." Below the surface of the planet, the human exploration teams continued their work. Dr. Lena Torres activated another ancient device, revealing intricate star maps and energy signatures that hinted at powerful, long-forgotten technology. The ruins themselves seemed alive, resonating faintly with human presence. Suddenly the ground trembled. The alien fleet had deployed drones into the atmosphere, scanning and analyzing the planet. Some drones fired energy pulses to test the humans' defenses. Sparks flew as human shields absorbed the attacks. "This is it," said Sergeant Rami Singh, leader of the planetary security team. "They're testing us. They want to see how far we'll go." Mira's voice came over the comms. "Hold your ground. Observe, record, and defend if necessary. Humanity will not be intimidated." On the bridge of the Endurance, engineers worked furiously, recalibrating the ship's adaptive energy shields. Unlike the alien fleet, humans relied on ingenuity and adaptability rather than sheer size or power. Their ships were smaller, but they could maneuver faster and react in ways the Council species did not anticipate. The first confrontation came when an alien frigate attempted to intercept a human shuttle returning from the ruins. The shuttle, though smaller and lightly armed, dodged with incredible agility. Using a combination of evasive maneuvers and temporary cloaking technology, the human shuttle evaded the attack, leaving the alien crew stunned. "Impressive," said Lieutenant Chen. "They weren't expecting our ships to move like this." Mira nodded. "Humanity has always thrived in difficult situations. Keep pushing." Meanwhile, on the planet's surface, the human exploration team encountered a defensive system within the ruins, an automated energy barrier designed to protect the ancient technology. Initially, the humans thought it was a trap, but careful observation revealed a pattern in its activation. Dr. Torres smiled. "It's a puzzle. We can bypass it if we understand the rhythm. They designed it to challenge intruders, not to destroy them outright." The team carefully timed their movements, and one by one they passed through the barrier without triggering any lethal defense. The ruins seemed to acknowledge their cleverness, as if testing their intelligence and worthiness. From orbit, the alien fleet watched with growing concern. The Council species had assumed humans would be frightened and submissive. Instead, they saw humans adapting, learning, and surviving against odds that would have crushed most others. "This species is extraordinary," said Zarek. Watching the feed from the Council's observation station, "they are not merely stubborn. They are intelligent, courageous, and unpredictable." Orland's voice hissed in anger. "They are dangerous. We must act before their confidence grows further. If left unchecked, they may spread beyond this system and challenge the authority of the Council." But even Orlean could not deny the humans' skill. The shuttle returned safely, carrying valuable data from the ruins, and the team's success boosted morale across Earth and in orbit. Humanity had passed the first real test without losing a single life. Back on the Endurance, Mira reviewed the incoming data from the shuttle. "They will likely escalate. The Council species may try to blockade us or disable our ships, but we are ready. We adapt, we survive. That is who we are." The alien fleet made its next move, sending an envoy ship to deliver a warning. Humanity must leave the neutral zone immediately or face destruction. The human crew, for the first time, saw an alien commander face-to-face through a holographic projection. The figure was tall, armored, and intimidating, with eyes that glowed faintly in the projection. "Humans," it said in a precise, resonant voice, "you have crossed the line. Leave this sector, or your species will be eliminated." Mira's eyes narrowed. "We are explorers, not intruders. We seek knowledge, not war. But if you attack, we will defend ourselves. Humanity does not surrender to threats or fear." A tense silence followed. The alien envoy seemed almost surprised by the humans' calm and firm response. Most Council species expected submission or panic, not courage. The envoy's eyes narrowed. "You are reckless. Your kind does not understand the forces at play. Leave or we will be forced to act." Mira nodded slowly. "We understand more than you realize. We will not leave. We will explore, learn, and grow. That is humanity's path." The envoy ended the communication abruptly, signaling the fleet to prepare for engagement. The first true clash began when an alien frigate moved to disable the Endurance's engines. Human gunners and engineers responded quickly. Using a combination of electronic countermeasures and unpredictable maneuvers, the humans evaded the attack. A precise energy pulse from the ship's experimental weapon temporarily disabled the frigate's systems, sending it spinning into orbit. The alien commanders were stunned. Their technology, designed to overpower smaller species, had been outsmarted by humans. The Council had expected humans to be easy to intimidate, but instead they had encountered strategy, creativity, and courage. On the planet, the exploration teams continued their work, now more determined than ever. Every alien attack or warning only strengthened their resolve. Humans had always faced challenges on Earth, harsh climates, natural disasters, and conflicts among themselves, and had always adapted. Now in the vastness of space, they demonstrated the same resilience. Dr. Torres activated another device within the ruins, revealing a holographic display of ancient star systems. This technology, it's unlike anything we've seen. The ancients clearly valued knowledge and survival. They tested those who came here. I think they would recognize humanity's ingenuity. Captain Mira smiled. Then we honor them by continuing to learn and explore. We will not cower. Humanity's spirit is stronger than fear, stronger than threats, stronger than the unknown. The alien fleet, frustrated by repeated failures, attempted a coordinated strike. They underestimated the humans' adaptability. Ships dodged, shields adapted, and counterattacks neutralized the alien offensive. Small victories accumulated, shaking the confidence of the Council species. Zarek, watching from the Council chambers, muttered in disbelief. They should have been crushed. Yet they survive, and they fight back intelligently. Orlan's hands clenched into fists. We will not underestimate them again. They are dangerous beyond what we imagined. Even among the Council, whispers began to spread. Humans were not a minor species to be controlled. They were a force to be reckoned with. Every move, every tactic, every act of courage on the humans' part challenged centuries of assumptions about power and control in the galaxy. Back on Earth, millions of people watched live transmissions of the clash. Pride and awe filled hearts everywhere. Humanity was no longer merely a species confined to a single world. They were becoming participants in the galaxy, demonstrating bravery, intelligence, and a will to survive that few had predicted. As the alien fleet withdrew temporarily to reassess, Captain Mira addressed her crew. Today we showed the galaxy who we are. We did not seek war, but we did not back down from danger. Humanity will continue to explore, to learn, and to grow. We are ready for whatever comes next. The humans' victory, though small in the grand scale of the galaxy, sent shockwaves across star systems. Other species began to take notice. Humans were different. Unexpected, courageous, and unstoppable in their determination. In the council chambers, debate raged on. They survived, Vela said quietly. They fought, adapted, and endured. Perhaps they are not merely reckless, they may be exceptional. Zarek's voice rumbled with unease. Exceptional, yes, but dangerous. Their potential is far greater than we anticipated. We must remain vigilant. Orlan glared, still unwilling to accept the humans' defiance. We cannot tolerate this. Their confidence grows. We must prepare for the next encounter. Humanity will not be easily controlled. Meanwhile, humanity prepared for what lay ahead. The neutral zone had been crossed, the Council had taken notice, and the galaxy was no longer quiet. Humans had proven that courage, ingenuity, and unity could stand against even the most formidable forces. The first clash was over, but the war for respect, recognition, and survival had just begun. Humanity's fury had already shocked the Council, and the stars themselves seemed to pulse with anticipation for what was next. Captain Mira looked out at the endless sky of stars. The galaxy underestimated us, she said softly. They will never make that mistake again. The storm had begun. Humanity had awakened to its place among the stars, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them, and the cage and intellect far beyond expectation. The Galactic Council had convened an emergency session. The chamber, usually a place of calm discussion, was now filled with tension. Holographic displays of star systems, human ships, and ancient ruins floated above the floor, casting flickering lights on the faces of the council members. Zarek's tendrils quivered with agitation as he pointed at the displays. Humans have survived our first strike. They have adapted, fought intelligently, and learned from every move we made. They are not what we expected, Orlan hissed, pacing in agitation. They are reckless, yes, but they are also dangerous. If we do not act decisively, they will expand further, challenge our authority, and destabilize regions we have controlled for millennia. Vela, the calm Larithian diplomat, observed quietly. Perhaps our estimates of them are flawed. Yes, they are aggressive in their curiosity, but they are also resourceful and intelligent. Punishing them blindly could push them toward actions we cannot control. Perhaps they could be allies if handled wisely. The chamber buzzed with disagreement. Some species argued for immediate eradication of the human threat, while others saw potential in studying them further. No one had anticipated that a species so small and young could display such courage, adaptability, and ingenuity. Meanwhile, across the stars, humanity had regrouped after the first clash. The Endurance was docked near one of the larger exploration ships, and the crews met to discuss the next phase of their mission. Captain Mira Saeed stood before the assembled officers. "The Council knows we exist," she said, her voice firm. "They tried to intimidate us and they failed. But we cannot assume they will give up. We must continue our mission carefully and intelligently." Lieutenant Chen nodded. "Our scans indicate that there are other ruins in nearby systems. The technology and knowledge stored there could give us an advantage if we can understand it." Dr. Torres, her eyes shining with excitement, added, "These ancient systems could hold secrets of civilizations long gone. If humans can study them, we could unlock understanding that even the Council species have lost. The potential is staggering." Sergeant Rami Singh, head of planetary security, raised a concern. "Captain, we've seen what the Council can deploy. They are strong and organized. Even if we adapt, they may strike again. We need to prepare for that possibility." Mira's gaze was steady. "We will prepare. But fear will not guide our actions. Humanity's strength lies in our unity, our creativity, and our willingness to face the unknown. We must show the galaxy that courage is as important as technology." In orbit, human scientists continued to examine data from the first ruins. Patterns and energy readings suggested that the ancients had designed a network of star systems connected by advanced travel routes, capable of instant communication across vast distances. Humans had already deciphered parts of it, realizing that these systems were both a resource and a responsibility. Dr. Torres turned to Mira. "Captain, if we can map these systems, humanity could access knowledge that even the Council has forgotten. But with that comes risk. Others may not wish to share this technology, and the Council may view our progress as a threat." Mira nodded. "Then we must proceed carefully. We will explore, learn, and prepare for any challenge. Humanity has never backed down from a test, and we will not start now." As humans expanded their mission, the Council's unease grew. Reports from scouts indicated that humans were already moving to nearby systems, uncovering ruins and activating ancient devices. Each success amplified their reputation, not just among humans but across other species in the galaxy. Zarek's voice trembled with disbelief. "They are learning too quickly. Every attempt to intimidate them only strengthens their resolve. Their ingenuity surpasses our expectations. They may be small, but they are exceptional." Orlin slammed a clawed hand against the chamber floor. "Exceptional, yes, but that makes them dangerous. They are unpredictable. They refuse to follow rules that other species obey. If we do not act, humanity will upset the balance we have maintained for thousands of cycles." Vela's tone remained calm but firm. "We must not underestimate them, nor must we provoke them unnecessarily. They are young, yes, but their spirit and intelligence are remarkable. Perhaps it is time to consider guidance rather than punishment. Their strength could be an asset, not just a challenge." Back in human space, the exploration teams encountered a series of challenges designed to test their ingenuity. In one system, an ancient device emitted pulses of energy that altered gravity and atmospheric conditions. Where a larger, less adaptable species might have panicked, humans observed, calculated, and adjusted. They deployed drones to map the energy flows, experimented with field stabilization, and carefully navigated the hazards. Dr. Torres watched as the team bypassed the device's defenses with a combination of logic and creativity. "They would have failed if they acted recklessly," she said. "But humans? They think differently. They adapt. That is what sets us apart." Captain Mira observed from orbit, pride swelling. "This is humanity at its best. We do not rely solely on power or fear. We rely on understanding, collaboration, and courage. The galaxy has underestimated us for too long." As humans continued to explore, word of their feats began to spread. Other species, small and overlooked, whispered tales of human adaptability, resilience, and daring. Messages carried through subspace relays hinted that humans were not just surviving. They were excelling where others had failed. The Council became divided. Some members argued that humans must be destroyed before they grew too powerful. Others suggested observation and study, believing that humanity's spirit could offer lessons or even collaboration. Zarek's voice was steady but tense. "They will not be easily controlled. Their survival instinct, combined with creativity, makes them formidable. Every encounter proves that our assumptions about them were wrong. We must adjust our strategies, or we risk underestimating a species that could challenge the Council itself. Orland's claws clenched. I will not accept weakness. If they continue to defy us, the Council must strike decisively. Their courage is dangerous precisely because it is so unpredictable. Meanwhile, humans discovered an unusual artifact within one of the ruins. It was a device that could store massive amounts of information and had mechanisms that suggested instantaneous communication across star systems. For the first time, humans realized that the ancients had created networks far beyond current Council knowledge. This changes everything, Dr. Torres said. If we can unlock this, humanity could access technology and information that has been lost for eons. The potential for discovery and for influence is immense. Captain Mira considered the implications carefully. We will proceed responsibly. Knowledge is power, but our strength lies in how we use it. Humanity has always faced challenges, and we will rise to this one with intelligence and care. We will not misuse what we find. As humans unlocked more of the ruin's secrets, the Council grew increasingly uneasy. Reports showed human fleets moving with precision, small teams adapting to dangers that would have overwhelmed most species, and explorers uncovering knowledge long thought lost. Zarek's voice was low, almost fearful. They are not reckless. They are extraordinary. Their ingenuity and courage make them a force unlike any we have encountered. If we continue to underestimate them, the consequences could be severe. Orland hissed, frustrated. Then we must act. Humanity cannot be allowed to expand unchecked. Their confidence grows, and with it, their influence. We cannot let a young species disrupt the order we have maintained for millennia. But even among the Council, some members began to admire humanity. Bela's voice resonated softly. Their courage and determination are remarkable. Perhaps it is time we reconsider our approach. They may be dangerous, yes, but their spirit is inspiring. We could learn much from them if we choose guidance over force. In human space, Captain Mira addressed her crew. We have drawn attention from the most powerful species in the galaxy. We have faced their first attempts to intimidate us, and we succeeded. But this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, full of challenges and wonders. We will continue to explore, learn, and grow. Humanity is rising, and we will do so with courage, intelligence, and respect for the unknown. The first wave of human exploration had succeeded beyond expectation. They had survived Council aggression, learned from ancient technology, and demonstrated a unique combination of adaptability and courage. Across the stars, whispers spread. Humanity was no longer a minor species. They were a rising force, capable of astonishing feats and unlikely resilience. The Council, for all its power and knowledge, began to realize that it had underestimated a species that was young, curious, and unyielding. Humanity's actions had not only challenged expectations, they had rewritten them. As humans continued their journey, the galaxy seemed to hold its breath. The line had been crossed, and humanity had stepped boldly into the wider universe. Their courage, intelligence, and unity had begun to turn the tide of perception, even among the oldest and most powerful civilizations. Captain Mira gazed at the stars from the bridge of the Endurance. We are only at the beginning, she said softly. The galaxy will soon see that humanity cannot be ignored. We will explore, we will learn, and we will rise. This is our destiny.